Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, I know I just woke up and everything. It's about 8:25 on this Saturday morning, but I figured that I might as well, do my own little predictions real quickly for tomorrow's NXT TakeOver in your house. Now, as a lot of people have said, in case you don't know what in your house was or is, back around '95, a year before Kevin Nash and Scott Hall went to WCW, WWE came up with this concept to, and that was just my dog. She's waking up right now too. But like I said, WWE came up with this concept to um, air, if not present, pay-per-views that ran for only about, I would say, 90 minutes to 2 hours at a fraction of the original cost at that time. So you look at, so to make a comparison, today pay-per-views cost about $60 when it comes to WWE, 50 to $60. Back then, it cost about $10, $20 less. So according to, let's say, I think what, Deluxe Man, well not Deluxe Man, but just Alex and Solomonster, Jason Solomon said this, that back then the pay-per-views for In Your House were like $14.95, $15. Well, the regular ones were like 25 or 30. So you add inflation of that for today, and you're looking at pay-per-views that would cost about, like I said, compared to the $50 to $60, you'd be looking at pay-per-views that would cost $40 to $50, depending, maybe even 45 to 50 in a sense. But anyway, yeah, about 20 years ago, they decided, hey, we're going to do this because, of course, wrestling was kind of in a downfall, especially on their side of things. WCW was kind of showing their own kind of problems too, but mostly it seemed to be more affecting WWE. So WWE decided, hey, we're going to do this. Hopefully that'll attract people. And it did. It did. It was a more affordable solution for people to watch a wrestling pay-per-view, and it wasn't that many matches. Now, my theory was they only did this because obviously it was their answer to the TBS free broadcast of Clash of the Champions. But unlike Clash of the Champions, they did this every other month or something like that. WCW, when they would do Clash of the Champions, it wouldn't be every other month, it'd be every 3 to 4 months. So anyway, that is what In Your House was. It was just a pay-per-view that ran for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, had about 4 or 5 matches on it, and that was it. Maybe 6 if some of those matches were squashes. But anyway, it was announced Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and X-Pac, Sean Waltman, made the, not Sean Waltman, but Road Dogg, yeah, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Road Dogg made the announcement that NXT TakeOver this Sunday was going to bring the In Your House concept back. And the reason for it is it's the 25th anniversary. It's the 25th anniversary of the event itself, but also it's to kind of tie into what's been going on, to what's been happening lately with a lot of people. So basically being stuck in the house because of the pandemic. Thankfully, that's being lifted in several places around the country, if not most places. But anyway, getting on to the card itself, it has about 6 matches, which again was kind of the common theme, 4 to 6 matches. It has 6 matches. One of them has already been taped. That's the Backlot Brawl, or the Spotlight match between Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream. So anyway, the matches that we have are 6 matches. and we're going to start off with them. And I'm just going to give my thoughts on how I think they're going to go and why I think they're going to go this way. So here we go. The first match, I think this will be the one that opens the card, is the 6-woman tag team match. Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Knox against Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. I think this would be a solid opener if it does open the show. I know that they're trying to push Candice as a heel now, or at least here's the thing about Candice and Johnny. Everybody is so used to them being babyfaces no matter where they've been. And any time a company brings them in and tries to make them heels, they're either successful in doing it or they fail. And that's not just with Johnny and Candice, that's with anybody. That's with anybody that they've brought in that's, mainly spent most of the career as, baby faces and all that when you bring them in and try to make them heels, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I know Candice and Johnny have had runs as heels on the independents and in other promotions, but most of the time they've been known as baby faces. So, this heel run that Candice and Johnny are going on right now, I have to agree with something that Alex said one time when this first happened, and that is, I don't think it's going to last. I think it's going to be a temporary deal. I think what's going to happen is before the year's out, Candice and Johnny are going to be baby faces again, and you're going to have both of them coming out and explaining their actions as to why they did it, and, that's going to be about it. They're going to go from there. So, I don't think it's going to last long, and like I said, I think by the end of the year, you're going to have them coming out explaining why they did what they did, acted the way they did, and they're going to go from there. And maybe that will lead to them being on top of NXT or whatever brand they'll be on going forward, because, they had this run, but now they kind of learned a lesson, like, okay, maybe it's, it's not our time yet, to be at that area, be that top individual. But anyway, Candice right now is going through the heel run, and she's going to be teaming up with Dakota and Raquel. Now, how do I see this match going? Well, I know majority of people say that the heels are going to win, which would make a lot of sense if you want to keep that momentum for Candice going, especially if you want to make Candice the next in line for a women's championship match. Tegan, on the other hand, they're trying to build her up as a top babyface. They're trying to build up Mia Yim as a top badass babyface. Shotzi Blackheart, they're trying to obviously get behind her and build her up as this daredevil extreme babyface. That's, you never know what she's going to do, right? So, to me, this 6-woman tag match is kind of a toss-up, but I am going to probably have to agree with the masses here, and I'm going to go with Team Candice to win. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to win cleanly. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be distraction. Something's going to occur. Some kind of distraction's going to occur. And Tegan Knox, just to continue her storyline rivalry with, not Tegan, but Dakota Kai, to continue her rivalry with Tegan, this personal rivalry, is going to roll up Tegan but off a distraction. Well, Tegan probably got the upper hand on her and is ready to win the match. Something's going to occur where Dakota will sneak up, roll up Tegan, and win. That, in the end, still makes Tegan look strong, doesn't hurt her. You're not hurting Mia Yim, you're not making her look weak, you're not making Shotzi weak, but it's being done in a way that shows that the heels are willing to do whatever it takes to win. And that's the one feeling I get, the one kind of distinction I'm getting out of the recently turned heel Dakota and the recently turned heel Candice, that they are just sick and tired of waiting. They want opportunities. They want moments now. They want championships now. And they figure that if they go this route, it's the best way. But like I said, I think with Candice, and then probably later on Dakota, they're going to see the light and realize, oh, maybe it wasn't our time. Maybe we weren't meant to be in that spotlight. So, Yeah, but I see Team Candice winning, but but in a way that keeps the babyface women strong. All right, so the next match, which I think will be the semi-main event, but it's listed here as the second match. Keithley defending the North American Championship against Johnny Gargano. Um, Again, like I said, like I just said, I don't think Johnny's heel run's gonna last long. I think it'll be temporary. And like I said with Candice, I think it's gonna lead to them becoming baby faces again, and them basically apologizing for their actions. But I will say this. I see them keeping this edge to them even when they go back to baby faces, because they're going to realize, hey, we're good guys again and everything. We're doing the right thing. But we're not going to be that same old Candice and Johnny as before when we were baby faces. We're going to be this Johnny and Candice that you see now, but we're going to be the good guys. We're going to be the baby faces. Or something like and obviously we've seen that with Becky Lynch, remember? That's what I think the route they might go with them. But as far as this match goes, I think it's going to be a good big man, little man match, a good David versus Goliath match. I know some people are not saying Johnny's going to win, because I think the ultimate goal for Johnny is that he and Candice are going through a phase to where, like I said, they're going to probably end up redeeming themselves, becoming good guys again, but keeping their edge, this new edgy attitude a little bit, just like Becky did. So I will agree that I don't think Johnny's going to win. If he does, it'll be a surprise. Like Alex said, one of the things TakeOver is known for is throwing us a curveball, and once in a while, and this could be that curveball. But I have to agree that right now Johnny's not going to win. I think they're going to save any kind of championship win he gets for SummerSlam weekend. That's what I see. Um, but yeah, this is going to be a good David versus Goliath match between the two. Johnny's going to really be able to help sell a lot of Keith's power moves and stuff. So in the end, I do have to go with Keithley because right now he's got that it factor about him that NXT needs on their brand. They really do. Not saying Johnny couldn't do it, but I think NXT needs it. Needs Keithley right now. No offense, more than they need Johnny on top. Johnny's going to get his time. Believe me, it'll probably be around SummerSlam, or it might be now because of that curveball wild card. But I think Keithley, I do agree, is going to retain. It'll be a good match, a good big man, little man match, and it could be match of the night. So I'm going to go with Keithley because right now they need his presence on the NXT. I mean, they already lost Matt Riddle to SmackDown, and they're losing what's his name, Donovan Divakovic to Raw. So they need to have Keith Lee. They can't lose. They can't afford to lose him. All right, so the next match is Finn Balor, Damien Priest. Um, I think this might, to me, this could be the sleeper hit of the event of the night. The sleeper hit. I know some people are not saying it would be, but I think it will. I think this will be the sleeper hit. I think Finn should win. I really do. But remember, Finn still has an ongoing issue with Imperium and Walter. And even though Walter can't be there because of what's going on, Imperium can in some ways. So I would say, I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to say Damian Priest wins, but thanks to interference or some kind of distraction by Imperium. Like music plays, or you see some kind of video on the Titantron of Walter calling out Finn. But obviously something's going to happen courtesy of Imperium, where I think it's going to allow Damian Priest to get the upset win over Finn Balor. So yeah, I'm going to go with Damian Priest on this one. I really do. I mean, I like Finn, and I think he should win, and he probably will. But, knowing how NXT is sometimes, I wouldn't be surprised if they do this to get him distracted to where Damien takes advantage and he wins. It keeps Finn strong, even though he's defeated that off of distraction. All right, so the next match, Tommaso Ciampa against Karrion Kross with Scarlett. formerly Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux. Scarlett Bordeaux in Impact Wrestling. Same with Killer Cross. Karrion Kross and Scarlett against Tommaso Ciampa. I will say one thing about this match. I think it's going to be very physical. It could be stiff. Because everybody points out, oh, they're using the word special and all that for it. And it will be special. But I think it's also going to be very stiff. It's going to be very hard hitting. I do believe Cross is going to win. Will he win clean? That's the question. I think he should. I think everybody believes he should. But then again, you might, knowing WWE, even with NXT, they might want to show that when someone like Cross goes up against someone like Ciampa, who's just as insane, as him, that he'll need outside interference, and that could come in the form of Scarlett. But honestly, but honestly, in the end, I think it's going to be a good match. And I am in agreement that I think Cross will win, and he should win clean. He should win clean, and I think what this does with Ciampa is it leads him down a road of realizing he lost his edge, and when he realizes he lost his edge, that's when it's going to connect with Johnny again, with Johnny Gargano and Candice, and that's going to lead to what people probably expect to happen as a double turn. Johnny and Candice back to face, Tommaso back to heel. But yeah, I think Cross is going to win, and that win is going to lead Tommaso down that road. Alright, so the next match, triple threat women's match, Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley challenging Charlotte Flair for the NXT women's title. I know a lot of people don't like the fact that Charlotte is the champion right now in NXT. They don't want the championship on her. I totally agree with that. I'll put it this way. I do totally agree that Charlotte shouldn't have the NXT championship and everything, but she has the championship mainly because it's bringing attention to the brand. That's the reason they gave it to her. But there's another reason why she has the championship, and also why, unlike previous NXT Women's Champions, she's not mainly stayed on NXT. The reason being is the fact that they're playing up what she said at the Royal Rumble. Remember what she said after she won the Women's Royal Rumble? In a work shoot, a legitimate shoot, whatever you want to call it, she said that this women's division was hers, whether you like it or not. Basically, that I think it was along the lines of, she runs this is her division, she runs it, whether you like it or not. And she wasn't just talking about Raw, she wasn't just talking about SmackDown, she was talking about all of the WWE women's divisions, including NXT and NXT UK. So you have to kind of think that WWE saw this and they're playing up on it to the point that storyline-wise, it makes you think that the ultimate goal is to have Charlotte become the undisputed women's champion all across WWE, all across 3 brands. That is why she's showing up on Raw. That's why she's showing up on SmackDown, while she should be staying in NXT. It's mainly because they're playing up the fact that she's going to eventually win all the women's championships before this year is out. That's the ultimate goal. And I know people don't want to hear that. And I know some people are saying, okay, this is, what I'm saying is, I know people are looking at this match and they're saying, okay, this is where the Charlotte NXT Women's Championship experiment ends, right? This is where it ends. Someone else is going to get the title. And a lot of people are saying they're playing it up in an old school fashion where you don't think Io Shirai is going to be a factor, that the main focus is Rhea and Charlotte. And that's true. And that's a great way to go. That's a great way of going with it. But, unfortunately, I'm going to have to rain on people's parade, because even though I like Charlotte, and I do agree she shouldn't have the NXT Women's Championship right now, because she's already established, she's already a household name. I don't think they're going to take the belt off her. I really don't. I think Charlotte's going to retain. What's going to happen, because here's the thing. You have essentially two baby faces. Well, you have sort of a tweener face in Io Shirai. You have a baby face, a badass baby face in Rhea. And you have a heel that people love in Charlotte. And they're going to go by, and the way the storyline I look at it, as I look at it being played out, is I see Charlotte being the kind of heel, veteran heel, that's going to take advantage of a miscommunication between Iro and Rhea, and that's how she's going to win. It's still going to make both women look strong, but in the end, what it does is it keeps the belt on Charlotte, and it builds to a rematch one-on-one between her and Io or her and Rhea during SummerSlam weekend, and that's when the championship will be taken off her. But it'll be taken off her because during SummerSlam weekend, guess what? At SummerSlam, Charlotte, depending on what happens between then and there, Charlotte will win the Raw Women's Championship. So that is what's going to happen. So I think I'm going to probably be in the minority here and say Charlotte retains. Now, as far as the backlot brawl goes, for the NXT Championship, Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, spotlight match. It's already been taped. Apparently there was an audience of some kind out there. This one's a toss-up because just like with Keithley, NXT needs Adam Cole. And like I said, they need Adam Cole. There's rumors that Velveteen Dream's going to get called up soon. Whether it's SmackDown or Raw. I think mostly SmackDown. So it's kind of up in the air. I know Adam, people have always wondered about his status with the WWE. Well, according to several sources, he signed an extension, maybe even signed a new 3-year contract. Because obviously he's over with the crowd. He's over with, the people backstage. And that he's the kind of guy that it doesn't matter what brand he shows up on, he's going to be a top guy. He's one of those exceptions. I mean, I know people want him to go to, and I know a lot of people have said, and I even noticed this, people want him to go to AEW because his girlfriend Britt Baker's there. His buddies, the Young Bucks, are there. But here's the difference between the two. Even though AEW would be a great fit for him in the future, what position would he be in right now? Would he be in the position of an Adam Page? Would he be in the position of a Pac? Where he should be, because of his name value and what he brings to the brand and his experience, that you would think he should be a top guy. He should be in the main event automatically, be in the championship picture automatically. But he's the kind of guy that they'll just slot in wherever, in a number 5 or 6 position. And I think that's what people are pointing out, that the difference, believe it or not, is he's one of those rare guys that WWE actually has an eye on. They want to keep because he could remain and stay and be either top guy in NXT, or if he gets moved up, he could be the number 3, number 2, if not the top guy, top heel on the Raw SmackDown brand. So the question is, though, does he keep the championship here? Well, this is a backlot brawl, a spotlight match, and a last chance match. A last chance match for Velveteen Dream, and I would say Velveteen Dream, because again, it's a toss-up. I mean, I believe Adam Cole is going to retain because, like Keithley, they need Adam Cole. They need him on the brand. They can't afford to lose him. They need him as the top guy. And I think the ultimate goal is to get Keithley the NXT Championship. That's the goal. So it's a toss-up. So it's a toss-up. So on one hand, I would say Velveteen Dream. I'd say Velveteen Dream, and on the other, I'd say Adam Cole. So it's one of those matches that's a toss-up. It's one of those matches that's a toss-up, and I don't know what direction to go with on it. And so it's kind of 50-50 with me. But that's just my predictions and for NXT TakeOver in your house. Let me know what yours are down below. Comment if you like. And I will talk to you all later. Peace. God bless.